Hello, um, welcome to this short video. This video is an introduction to R and RStudio. My name is Greg Okobo. R is one of the uh, statistical computing programming languages, and R is mainly effective in helping us to carry out data analysis, data mining, and bioinformatics analysis. R first appeared in August 1993, and the current stable version is 4.3.2. Before we go into really understanding what R is all about, it's important that we take note of these three different nodes: the research node domain, statistics, and statistical computing. They are all interrelated. To be proficient in R, you need to have a sufficient knowledge in each of these domains or nodes. The research domain simply means that before you can really gain full proficiency in R, you should be very conversant with the area of research that is generating your data. You should understand your data. Understanding of your data will give you the needed tools statistically to be able to process that data, to describe that data, and also to come up with statistical inference. So a knowledge of how the data is collected, where the data is coming from, the nature of the data is important to be able to apply the right statistics to it. At the same time, a working knowledge, a proficient knowledge of statistics is important for you to work with statistical computing software such as R or Stata or SPSS. Essentially, if you understand the statistics, R or other software makes the analysis faster, more accurate, and to the point. So for you to appreciate statistical computing software like R, you must have a working knowledge of statistics. Statistics will help you to write appropriate codes that R can understand. So that's why it's important that if you don't know statistics, R will not do the magic. So it's the codes that we supply to R that R will use to uh, compute the data. It's just giving us the computing power. That's all. The statistics is the same, and your knowledge of the research area is paramount. If you put all this together, you should be able to get the needed knowledge, intelligence that you want to gain from that particular research. The creators of R are two gentlemen, Ross Yaka and Robert Gentleman. Because at the time they did this in 1993 or thereabouts, they were at the University of Auckland. So we say kudos to them for giving us this very powerful tool. So the question now is, why use R? Above all things, R is free and open source. This simply means you don't have to pay for it at the least to have access to it. And then R has being free simply means that you can use it at will. You can study the codes and the scripts. You can modify it, and you can distribute it. Now, of course, when doing that, if you are distributing a code or a script written by others, you should acknowledge them by proper referencing. Apart from that, being open source simply means too that the source code that is behind R as a programming language is freely available as well, and you have access to it. You can use and modify it. R is a domain-specific language for statistical computing. It's not a general purpose programming language. So you can't probably use R to build a website, for instance. So R is very, very specific on statistical computing and statistical analysis, data mining, data processing. So it's very specific to statistics, which is both a plus, huge one on one end. Of course, for those who want to be a general purpose programmer, be a minus because it's not the right software to use. R has a graphical user interface, which is called the R Studio. There are other graphical user interface for R, but the R Studio is most popular. And what it helps us to do is to go beyond the codes and present our interaction with R in a way that we can appreciate. It uses languages that are similar to that of humans, and as such we can interact with the software without having to bother our head about the very complex codes and commands which are operating at the back end of the statistical software. So R Studio is a must-have if you want to work with R. R has many extension packages, and these packages are archived in the comprehensive R archive network. What these packages do is there are people who have written codes for specific analysis, and they made it freely available so that you can use their codes if it answers your own task or your own analysis question. So these are, and there are a lot of them. As at the last count, I think it's about more than 18,000 packages for different statistical analysis. So these are just um, packages that have functions and codes. Some have data that you can use for specific, very specific um, statistical analysis. So this is one of the beauty of R. So these packages, they extend the power of R, they extend the um, utility of R. So it's good we familiarize ourselves with what packages are and go to the CRAN and see which is available and how to access them. Arrow has a very powerful visualization capability, which means you can come up with a lot of graphs and figures and charts, very beautiful, colorful ones to express the information coded in your data to others. So, I mean, this is one of the real good strengths of R. R also integrates well with many other languages. So you can Python, even SAS data. R integrates well with them. So R is not necessarily just all about itself. It has an environment that can incorporate other languages or other statistical software. And above all, Arrow has a very extensive, well-organized support community where you can, if you have a problem, you can put it there and you are rest assured there's someone who will respond. Someone has probably encountered a similar problem before and they'll provide solutions. So Arrow has this very good community because it's free, it's open, a lot of people are using it and they have so many answers in case you need answers for some if you run into a problem using R. And these are the reasons why R is gaining a lot of popularity in statistical computing fields. Many people are tuning into using R, and I encourage everybody listening to us to do the same. Downloading R is very, very easy. You can use different links and websites to download R, but I recommend this one here. So if you click on it and it will take you to a page where you can download and install R and just follow the instructions as listed here. By the time you click finish, it is in your computer and then you can run. This is an open R and see how the software loops and the different interface and so on, and windows. However, like we've said before, working with R is not easy if you don't use the graphical user interface, which is the R Studio. So the R Studio is a freely available open source integrated development environment for R. And what this means simply is that it makes working with R easier. Okay, and it also has functions, menus that can help you appreciate using R. And it's open source, so you can also download it the way we downloaded R. But you must download R first before you can download the R Studio. And if you follow this process as well, you get the R Studio downloaded in your computer. And as soon as it's downloaded, just go to your desktop in the Windows search bar, type R Studio, click, and it will open for you. So this is the very short video on brief introduction to R and the R Studio. Next videos will go further to look at the R Studio, the different windows, what they mean, and how you can interact with them. Thank you. Bye-bye.